On Dispatch tonight, your layout photos, the question of the week, and a big shout out. Starting right now. Good evening. You're watching Dispatch, the weekly show for model railroaders. I'm Roy Smith, your dispatcher. Thank you for joining me tonight. As I said, we have your layout photos, the question of the week, and a big shout out coming up on tonight's show. But first, this. We model railroaders tend to take the hobby very seriously, and of course, we take it seriously for good reason. But sometimes we welcome a bit of comic relief, such as during this global pandemic that we are now experiencing and which is keeping many of us, including me, confined to our homes. So under these trying circumstances, I offer 3 lighthearted videos for your consideration. They include a Christmas train story, 12 uses for leftover static grass, and a really big mail call. I will put a link down below that will take you to a playlist containing these 3 videos. Go check them out after Dispatch ends tonight. Now then, first up on tonight's show, your layout photos. I'd like to thank all of you who posted photos of your layouts in our Facebook group this week. As always, I have brought the photos over here to Dispatch to share with everyone. And here they are. After the show, be sure to go to the Facebook group, join the group, and post a photo of your layout there because we'd like to see what you're doing on your layout. Remember, it doesn't matter what scale you model in. I will put a link down below that will take you to the Facebook group. You will know you're at the right place when you see this photo of Echo Canyon on my layout. Next up on tonight's show, the question of the week. This week's question is, what is the main thing that you are doing on your layout right now? As is so often the case here on Dispatch, this week's question is designed first to give newcomers to the hobby and would-be model railroaders some idea of what to expect when they begin to build and operate their layouts. And second, to give you a chance to share your thoughts and experiences with others in the hobby. Here's how you responded to the question. As you can see, more of you are working on scenery right now than any other task, and a lot of you are working on layout planning and structures. As for those of you who said number 10, something else, here are the things you said you are doing right now. You said you are building your layout room, or you are looking for a place to put a layout. You are investigating what others are doing on their layouts. You are trying to improve everything already on your layout. You are scratch building, maintaining, detailing, and upgrading rolling stock. You are working on Arduinos or other electronic tasks, or you don't currently have a layout. But as you can see, there is a pretty nice spread of activity across the board. I know it may have been difficult to pick just one task as your primary one right now, because most of us work on multiple tasks at the same time. But thanks for responding to the question of the week. It's nice to know what others are working on. When you post a comment, you are sharing the hobby with others. Sadly, I can't respond directly to as many of your comments as I would like, but I want you to know that I do read all of them, and I do appreciate all of them. It gives me great pleasure to share them here on Dispatch each week. All right, we do have a question for the coming week, and here it is. What are your favorite model railroad channels on YouTube? That is, which channels have helped you the most in the hobby? Which channels would you most recommend to others in the hobby? Which ones do you most enjoy? Go ahead, identify your favorite channels in the comments section down below. I will tabulate your responses and share your top choices in Dispatch next week. Again, the question for the coming week is, what are your favorite model railroad channels on YouTube? And now it's time for tonight's big shout out. And tonight's big shout out goes to Robert Simmons and the N-Scale Western Kansas Rails layout. The WKR was designed as a train show layout. That is, it was built to be taken to train shows. But importantly, it is used to introduce people at shows to model railroad operations and how those operations are done on the WKR. On his channel, Robert explains that the two outer tracks on the layout are used for running trains, as is normally the case with modular layouts at train shows. But, he says, the inner third track is used to service multiple industries. Since the layout is meant to introduce operations to the public at train shows, operations on the layout are kept simple but interesting. The layout is sectional and measures 18 feet by 24 feet. All the track on the WKR is Micro-Engineering Code 55 Flex Track, while all of the track switches are scratch built. I like the WKR and Robert's videos showing us how operations are performed on it, and I think you will too. So let's go over and take a look at a clip from one of Robert's recent videos.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends, the Obsession on the WKR N-Scale layout. This is train number 2, movement number 9. This is the last movement of this operating session. Train 2 is currently sitting on the siding, and we're going to move out and clear from dispatch. We're going to go over to Robinson Oil, do a runaround movement, pick up an empty oil tank car to head back to the barn. We've dropped the train, and we're going to take the engines ahead to do our runaround movement. We've dropped the tank car, set the brakes on the car, and now we're going to run back on the siding to get the rest of the train and come forward to pick this car up. We're following the same procedure with train 2 as we did with train 1. We're bringing it in the opposite yard from where we started because all of these cars are going to be rearranged and go out as a train 1 in the future.
Okay, you've had a chance to see a clip from one of Robert's videos right here on Dispatch Tonight. Now you can go over to his channel and check out the rest of his videos. If you like what you see when watching his videos, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any of his great upcoming content. I will put a link to Robert's channel down below. Robert, I really like the WKR and your channel. Thank you for letting me share it with everyone here on Dispatch Tonight. Now, if you still haven't seen my most recent layout video, it's called A Really Big Mail Call. In this lighthearted video, I explain that I finally went to pick up my mail for the first time in 6 weeks because of the pandemic. I show you all of the amazing things that arrived in 14 packages. Paints, glue, styrene, plastic putty, and much, much more. I will put a link to this video down below. Go over and watch it after Dispatch ends tonight if you haven't seen it yet. Now remember to respond to the question for the coming week in the comments section. Also remember there are tons of other videos for you to watch right here on this channel. You can go to 2 of them just by clicking over here. Or you can go to my videos page and browse around. Well, thanks for letting me share the world's greatest hobby with you here on Dispatch Tonight. I'm Roy Smith. Until next time, happy railroading.